Hey, what's up guys? This is Johan, and on this video I'll be doing a little bit of an update of what's been going on. I've been missing from the scene for about 3 weeks or so. I've been putting out little videos here and there, but I haven't really showed my face for the past 3 weeks. Anyways, let's get into the update and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so for the most part I've been missing mainly because of two main reasons. Work, I've been working a lot lately and working a lot of long hours, and then also I've been quite a bit sick and stressed out from working so much. And then I'm in Georgia, so the pollen count out here is crazy. Like there was a 5,000 pollen count, then it went up to 10,000. Like that's some crazy stuff. So it's just been stress and work, and then being sick and all that kind of kept me away from actually making a video and putting my face in front of the camera. Then feel the life stresses. Like this morning I had to rush my mom to the hospital because she was choking on a pill, and it felt like she was gonna die in my hand. So a little bit stressed out, but she's doing okay. So I'm just gotta get over that and then get over the stress work, and then I'll kind of be back to normal. So pollen is dying down. Luckily there's been a lot of thunderstorms in Georgia right now, and I guess all over the country, so that helps wash away the pollen. And then I'm not sure if it's because of the weather why the pollen is so high, because it's cold one day and then it's hot the next day and it's cold again. I know you guys up in the north is experiencing some kind of weird stuff, like it's hot then snowing, hot then snowing. So anyways, I got a little bit of unboxing. I got a new fish and a couple new corals and a couple new other things. So I'm gonna be changing out my RDI resin. As you guys can see, it's basically almost done. I got about this much up here, about an inch more, so I'm just gonna change out the whole thing. Alright guys, so we are at the reef tank. Fish are all doing okay. The only thing recently, for the past 2 weeks or so, since I haven't been monitoring the tank, all my hard coral have basically died back. Like I remember this coral right here was bright orange. Now all I could see is just a few little specks of the polyps on there. Same for over here. And in 2 weeks these two corals are just disintegrated. And then my stylophora that's right here, you can see how it's just white. I have another Monty over here, so 3 Monties, or 3 frags of the Monty just don't look good. But the SPS, for example, the hammers have a goldish here, and then the green hammer, they're doing okay. The torches down here, they're still doing okay. The lights basically just came on still blue, so they're kind of not fully extended. And one of the guys knocks this off, so I'm not sure which fish knocked it off, but it's down here, so I gotta take this torch and this hammer and put it back up there. One of the new corals I have is this Goniopora. It's doing lovely. So all the SPS and soft corals that I have are doing okay. I even had a Pavona coral, and those are pretty much hardy. I had to take it out because it was dying all the way back, and it's in the nano recovering. So my nano has basically been my recovery tank. And as you guys can see, I got the little guy in here. I got to do an actual video about this tank. That should be the next video I should be dropping. So if you guys look at this coral and that coral, let's see if we can get it to focus. Alright, so we get it to focus now. So it doesn't pick up well on the blue lights, but as you can see, the top coral right here is a lot greener than the one that's down here. And then if you go around, you could see right there and right there, these two frags of these are plain Monties. I think it's Monty Cap. So these two at the back, green, and they've been in the nano tank from day one. So I fragged them up. They are all the same frags. These two came out of the main display. This one I put in after because it kept falling off the rocks. Fish keep hitting off the rocks, so I put it over there so it could just heal up, and it's been calling up. But this one was actually bleaching, so you could see how white it is. The polyps are still there, but for some reason the main display, maybe it's because the angels are in here, they're eating or nibbling at nipping the corals or something, but something in the main display is just not going right with any hard corals. Even down here, the little pavona, that pavona, that same piece that's up here, that's here, that one, it's starting to die back. I have a few left heads on it, but I'm gonna have to remove that frag plug from there and put it in the nano tank. So something odd is going on in the main display where all my hard corals are dying. Temperatures are good, all parameters are good. The nitrate's probably a little bit lower than usual, so that's probably what it is. But I still have algae throughout the tank. I have my hair algae growing. For example, on top of this plate of rock ross here, I have an entire algae that I'm just leaving grow. And for some reason, nitrates are a little bit lower than they usually are, but the hard corals are dying back. But I keep the same parameters in here that's over there, except a bigger filtration system. And hard corals are doing perfectly fine. I got Montes over here encrusting. I got some acros here. Always have polyp extension. That same style that's here. Let's see if it's focus. Yeah, that same style that's right there up here. That's the one that's in there, and it's not as green. There's no color in the skin, but all the polyps are fully extended and are green. So I don't know, but I'm gonna do more closer shots of this once I do the nano tank update. So there is a new fish that I have. You guys know that I have this sailfin tank in this nano temporarily until it grows out, and he's been doing such an awesome job of keeping the algae away that he basically stripped this tank completely of any hair algae that was growing anywhere else. All the frags I took from the main display and put them in here. He comes in, cleans them out. Any hair algae that was on the rocks, anything, it's all gone. So because of that, he's gonna be in this tank for at least 6 to 7 months. I would like to put him in soon, but I may leaving him here just for the main part of my cleanup crew. So what I did, well, not me, but I asked my little brother to get me a fish, and he got me another sailfin tank. And this guy's a little bit bigger, and I got him from Petco. And then what you guys saying? You got a fish from Petco? Yeah, that's where the first few fish that I got was from Petco, and it depends on the Petco you go to. You could get a relatively healthy fish as long as you have a keen eye for it, and you're planning on quarantine, which I quarantine every single one of my fish, because I lost a few fish in the past, and I had a personal experience with what a fish feels like. Because of the pollen, I had some kind of weird itchy stuff. So if I itch that much, could you imagine what the fish goes through? That's what was in my head. So I'm gonna go ahead and start acclimating this guy, and then let him be in this quarantine system. Alright guys, so my quarantine usually starts at the fish store, where I take a look and see the fish, if it's eating, if it's happy, if it's searching for food, and then if it is, then I take it home. And getting a fish from a big box store like a Petco, you can always assume that there is some kind of disease on the fish. So I just go ahead and put them in quarantine. It doesn't matter if the fish is in copper, I always do a quarantine anyway. So I'm just gonna get this guy out of the bag and then go for the next quarantine process. Alright, so now that I have the bag open, I'm just gonna go ahead. It's been floating for almost 30 minutes, almost an hour actually, since I've been home. And This guy is pretty chill. Let's see if we can get you guys a look. Yeah, but isn't there? He's pretty chill. Unlike most fish that I get, they always antsy and stuff. This guy is really chill. One thing I like about getting fish from Petco, even though you do take a chance of bringing some crazy home, their fish are almost 90% of the time chill, unless if it's a new fish that comes in. So they may have some nipped fins or something like that. So what I like doing is just having a cup of my tank water, pull it out, and then put it in there. Yeah. And that basically starts getting him acclimated to the new water. And then I leave it in here for about 15 minutes. So this as well, as I do this, I wrap it around on the butt like this, forms a bubble so it floats around right here. And then the next thing I like doing, I should have done this at the store, but I didn't. I just went ahead and got him because I did see him nibbling at some rocks trying to look for some food. So one of the things I like doing is getting some fish food and put it in there. Most people don't like doing this, but I do it. I don't know why I do it. I just like doing it. Having the fish eat something while it's in acclimation. So, and another quick tip: once you guys are done acclimating any fish or starting to acclimate the fish, and you're dealing with this, let's say the quarantine water or the tank water from the store, it's in this quarantine, and as you notice, my quarantine is down on the floor, so there should be no splashes that end up on my main display or my 20-gallon nano. What I like doing as soon as I'm done with dealing with this is I go wash my hands with soap and water. Just wash it out with soap and water up to my elbows, and then because I might go step away and go do something at the computer for like a minute and then come back and I still have a little bit of water on my hands from this and forget, and then the fish look hungry and I end up feeding them. Next thing you know, I introduce ick into my main display. So every time I'm done doing something and I'm gonna stand up and get away from the quarantine system, I go ahead and wash my hands just to prevent any contamination. Alright guys, so in this clip I'll just be adding the sailfin tang into the quarantine. I usually don't use nets. I like to catch any fish with my hands, and I've said in the past that my first emperor angel I actually killed accidentally. One of the gill spikes that the angels has got stuck in the net, and by the time it got out of the net, it was too late. The gill plate broke off because that spike got stuck in the net. So I rarely use nets, only on a really small fish, or if it's a fish that's hard to get, like when I used to have my eel, I'd use a big net. But for the most part, no nets, just my hands. After I introduced the sailfin tang, he just went in his corner and chilled for a little bit. He found him a little hiding space. A little while after he came out and then swam around, but he chilled there for a little while. Try to get his surroundings. I put a little bit of food in there and he went right at it. So so far so good. Signs are good. Even though it's hiding for a little bit, at least it's eating, it's coming out, taking a look at me, running back in. So far so good. This is only day one. I have 4 more days. I would say if your fish stays in your tank for 5 to 7 days, as long as you don't do anything crazy, anything stupid like leaving your canopy open for your fish to jump out or having straight electricity in your tank, most of the time your fish, if they last past 5 days, they usually stay alive in your entire tank, or unless you have an aggressive fish or something, but for the most part 7 days and the fish usually stays alive. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up for that update about what's going on. I've been missing from the scene for a little while, and new fish and that new coral that I have. So the next video you guys are gonna see is this one here, the unboxing of this Jaybo wave maker. I already have one, so I needed a lot more flow because my other main pump, my main surge pump, that one, the suction cup died on it. So the pump still works, but it can't stay in the tank. So stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to be doing an unboxing of this
Yogi 99.